When we talk about stormwater infrastructure, it's a wide range of things. Can you give us the high level look at what that is?
Yeah, sure. So every city has to manage stormwater as it enters the city through rain and through river systems as they come and go through your municipality. And so we have what's known as a major system and a minor system. The major system deals with overland flow and culverts and bridges and things like that when you have a river or if you have a creek flowing through your city. And so we have a lot of crossings that require these larger capacity culverts that go through the city. And the minor system deals with the small pipes that connect all the water that collects in the roads and connects them to those creeks and rivers as they flow through. So the minor system usually handles a much smaller amount of flow, usually designed between a 1 and 2 and 1 year, 1 and 5 year flow event. And so your major system is usually designed to a 1 in 100. And that's the latest standards that we use. And currently the standards, or the original standards that we would have created our systems through are less than that. And so when you're talking about a stormwater system, generally the amount of rain and amount of flow that we get into the system, into our city has increased over the years. And so the problem that we have is trying to deal with it accordingly.
Well, you're right, and that takes funding, and that goes back to the creation of the stormwater utility. And can you speak more about some of the highest priorities in regards to our stormwater infrastructure? Because a lot of it is deteriorating fairly rapidly.
Yeah, and so our biggest costs usually end up being these major system culverts. When you have culverts that are under major roads, they're large diameter, usually 1,500 millimeter, 1,800 millimeter. They're really large, and those are the ones that originally were constructed using corrugated steel pipe. We call it CSP. And so steel generally rusts over time because it's sitting in the water that's flowing through it. And we have quite a few of these ones that will require large amounts of money to replace. We have 4th Avenue Northwest, where there's a culvert that we're actually actively working on getting a tender out this year to do. Plus, we have eyes on under Main Street. So where the old Canadian Tire is, there's 2 large diameter pipes under there that will require a significant amount of financial resources to replace or rehab them in place. So a lot of our culverts are designed to manage a 1 in 25 to 1 in 50 year flow event. And that's just a calculation of how much water flows through based on a rain event. And so the new standard is a 1 in 100. So to handle that much flow, you have to consider upsizing or doing some additional works to manage these flows accordingly.
We actually have the stormwater utility page at moosejaw.ca and the city's website, and link to it on the city app. But yeah, Spring Creek alone as well, there's about $20 million of work needed for Spring Creek.
Yeah, and that includes both those culverts that I was speaking on,
Okay.
and also doing some, as you have water sitting in a creek, there's a lot of vegetation that grows, and that vegetation, as it's developing, will reduce flow, and we have to start going in and removing a lot of this vegetation, which is part of the costs to manage the flow through the city. The idea is to convey the water accordingly to reduce potential flooding events.
Tying it back to the stormwater utility, which was proposed and approved during the 2025 budget process, a $9.80 per month charge added to all utility bills in the city of Moose Jaw. And again, that'll go before council and potentially be ratified over the short term. And so, of course, we'll advise our residents once it has officially come into effect. But if you want to find more information, just visit again our stormwater utility page on moosejaw.ca. And so before we move on to Second Ave and Manitoba intersection, Tyler, anything else we should know about the stormwater utility?
Yeah, I guess from our perspective in the engineering department, we're continually doing assessments and evaluations on our infrastructure, on our assets. Right now, we have a stormwater outfall condition assessment that's being done through a consultant right now, and we have well over 50 outfalls. And what that means is we have infrastructure that outlets our minor system to the major systems, to the rivers and creeks. And as those, if we don't deal with these accordingly, the erosion that can occur can collapse the pipes, and it can remove things and cause if you don't have the outflow that's functioning, you'll actually just back up the water into the street. So we're working on collecting as much data and understanding and what we need to do to manage the storm sewer effectively. And that includes both the pipes, it includes, culverts, everything that we can do to understand and know and budget accordingly. So what we want to do is utilize the money that we're getting from the stormwater utility according to the best way that we can and manage the dollars that we're going to get and help make our storm sewer function properly. The storm sewer is a unique asset where it sits there, it can sit there and not actually get used on a dry time, but once it's required, it's absolutely essential to move the water that can come through in various forms, whether it's a heavy rain or if it's a spring melt event. That's when you need these things to be functioning properly.